It is a world of darkness. The sin of Cain has spawned the cursed horror that stalks the night in search of living blood. The kindred have long been a secret influence through all ages of human history, plotting against each other in a never-ending jihad. Their immortal progeny are among us to this day, hidden from the eyes of humanity by an elaborate masquerade.
Like burn it at both ends. I like the fire causing mayhem. I'm not tired, I've been waiting, I'm not forsaken. I'm my own and I'm jaded. Energy comes from my hatred. Call me the villain, cause I be killing. I got no feeling, I've been dealing with all my demons. I like to feed them, they be chilling, yeah they be screaming. I can hear them in my mind, they just wanna find any fight, any reason. Dark side, there ain't no place to hide. All your fears are electrified. Welcome to the hard side, where it's all do or die. We're the shadow to the light, I can feel it in my bones. I'm addicted to the thirst, I ain't never letting go, even when it hurts. This is my curse. Have to be working to deserve it. Adrenaline is surging, ain't no serving. I'm the king, bring me everything that I've ever wanted, that I need. I believe I could be anything, watch me. Give me a second to blow, give me a second to grow. Be at the top of the show, be at the top like a pro. I flip the switch, different mode. No, they ain't laughing, no joke, cause I attack when they won't. Welcome to the dark side, there ain't no place to hide. All your fears are electrified. Welcome to the hard side, where it's all do or die. We're the shadow to the light, I can feel it in my bones. I'm addicted to the thirst, I ain't never letting go.
Okay, so we got into the x-ray room and he looked at that machine and looked at her and said, "This is not natural." He did not want to get into and get those x-rays done. But oh, I felt so bad. He broke his little nose.
Okay, so we are back and we are live and I am unmuted. Ha ha ha. I caught it quick enough. Just took me a couple seconds. I guess we're talking about hospitals and
Yes.
everything being unnatural about them, which makes sense. So we've got Joe the Frogman out there in the chat right now. We've got Davy Jones, and of course we also have Tapeworms, who's floating around out there, which is Garrett, who is a longtime friend of the channel and game. Played with us in the original LARP. That's where we met him, actually. So we actually have a lot to do in this particular game. I've got a lot in store for the people, which I'm actually really excited. Some of which came up because of, well, player involvement. Let's just put it that way. Which is the most fun.
Poor life choices.
Not all of them. I will give you that much. Not all of them. Some, it was more kind of like just served up on a platter and they didn't know better.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not good.
You know what?
For
In
me.
fact, I have got that sound bite. Let me go ahead and play that real quick.
No.
You and your sound bites.
Yeah, that is worthy of a Baymax oh no.
Oh no. Subscriber.
Yes, that was Todd.
Not so much.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Well, that doesn't count.
I'm just celebrating my subscriber streak.
No, it still counts.
Yay.
And in fact, it also adds to his point total should he decide to redeem points. And so before we begin to just let you know the rules of the chat, if you have channel points, you can redeem those for rerolls for our players or a reroll for me, for villains. You can...
Don't do it.
Reroll for the villains.
Yes.
Not tonight.
If you are watching...
Not tonight. Please not tonight.
Yeah, if you are watching the game, obviously one subscription will automatically get you a reroll for the player of your choice. Obviously, I don't take anything for the villains for that. If you have Amazon Prime, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime to Twitch Prime, which gives you one free subscription to any channel that you would like. So if you would so like to use that here, we would love it. If not, not a problem. So as a quick recap, very quick recap, who would like to give us kind of a condensed recap of what's taking place, since we have everybody here for the first time in a while?
Oh, I'm going to pass.
Okay.
Not it. I did last week. Last night.
Okay.
I haven't been here for very long, for a while, so I am not the best choice for this.
Rachel always takes good notes.
No, I don't. I've only done that recently because of
I know.
stuff.
I took notes last time.
Where do you want us to start?
Okay.
Why don't we just kick off from just the last game in general that might be
Blood
applicable here.
ties?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Ben called a meeting of the Anarchs. Trudy brought a +1, Daedalus, the Nosferatu. Damaris was able to retrieve a video from her security which showed Bastion. Ben called the marshal to follow up on the individuals that had Shannon. He wanted to know if one of them looked like Christopher Walken's. The answer was no. Ben informed the marshal about Bastion and sent him a screenshot of him so he would know what he looked like and to keep an eye out for him. Ben then received a text from Mr. V and a video, but all he could see was a girl propped up against the wall. It was looking as though she was being fed upon, but you can't see who it is, and the video was grainy. Damaris scried, but sees no one but a golden retriever with a GoPro.
Okay.
Yeah.
The coterie takes off for the not Taco Bell to see if they can find the perp.
Burrito alarm.
Yes, I had to put not Taco Bell for Brittany. Once arriving, Ben, Damaris, and Steph used Auspex, but Steph ended up blinding herself. Thank you, Botch. They managed to notice a girl in another fast food joint, which is not Panda Express, and Steph offers to go and see if she could talk to the girl. Blending in, she approached the table. She asked if she was okay. When brushed off, she leaned into her new persona's fame and brushed her hair back. The attempt worked, and she joined her and her friends at the table. The other three followed the dog with the camera. In the alley, they noticed a bum being fed off of. The three decided to go into stealth mode and attempt to get closer. Ben comes upon the cougar, who is also in the alley. The vampire has short red hair, a pale complexion. Ben tries to take a picture and it comes up blurry. Confronting the individual, Ben botches his aspects and ends up with some dumpster juice in the eye. The vampire turns out to
Literally a play-by-play.
Yeah.
The vampire turns out to be an anarch named Ryan the Sombra. Turns out he is a baby anarch. The coterie went to the Midnight Augury in search of some silver mares. They went to find Hugo's tent, unknowing that he is a mortal enemy of Miss Trudy.
Well, you found out that he was a mortal enemy. You didn't know that at first.
No,
Yeah.
unknowing.
Yeah,
unknowing.
unknowing. Okay.
Yeah. Unable to barter the group headed back to the cannery to discuss what happened. They find out that Mr. Welliver murdered her son, Bobby, and she has been keeping him under surveillance, and that he is possibly a mummy, an Ishmaelite. He is considered to be very dangerous. And that's all I got.
I
That
do have
is-
one thing to add.
That's an excellent play-by-play. Go ahead and add, Rachel.
Yeah. We discussed the Bastion issue. We basically were trying to figure out, how do we get him off, from stalking me and hunting me and get him out of Ashland. I had suggested trading the flesh confession of Jabal, right? Did I get that right? The name? Flesh confession. I'm trying to remember out of character drone.
No, I know. That's fine. I have to actually look it up. I can't remember the guy's name. But that may be
the rumor was that it came from Jabal. Well, my notes here for the tapestry is that it was being held by Veridat Václav.
Uh-huh.
I'm pronouncing that right. And that it was
Jabal, Jabal.
Jabal's, Jabal. Yeah, Jabal's basically flesh confession, who was the first school, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, I because that is considered a pretty valued relic, especially for a Canid or Nodus, which we know Bastion is. I suggested using that as a trade to get him off my back and Ashland's back. And we are trying to arrange a meeting to see if he will accept it, and we've enlisted the Giovanni to be the mediator.
Okay, great. That is, and for anybody watching who has no idea what was going on, that's a great play-by-play. That's actually literally where we're at. So good job. Thank you very much, everybody. You are also muted, Shelley.
We
Oh, we did check
also
out the occult store, the Dragon Marsh
Oh,
cult
that was a
store.
while
no, but
back,
that
yeah.
wasn't that the
Was that-
previous?
Oh,
that
that was
the
Yeah,
previous.
sorry.
This one, yeah.
Different
Yeah.
notes, that's
Okay.
July.
So,
XP.
I was going to say XP.
oh, got to roll for XP. Do we have any birthdays? No birthdays. Who would like to
Until
roll for
next
XP?
month.
Steven.
No.
I do believe you guys don't want me to roll because I roll poorly.
I rolled last time, so
I'll roll.
Okay.
I'll
Okay, go
roll. I'll
ahead.
roll in the chat.
Okay, that sounds like a winner. So 1d4
yeah, I
plus one.
I don't want to be responsible for rolling a 1.
I don't know how to roll a d4. Like,
Hey, something's better than nothing.
Okay, so roll the 2, so I guess that gives us 3.
3.
Yep. 3 XP for the month of August. All right, so picking the game up. First things first. So, Dahlia,
Mm-hmm.
the very first thing you wake up to is a hard, soft attack from a very fluffy pillow right across the chest. With
Of course. Well, I'm gonna hit him back.
Okay, so in your grumpiness state, obviously you're barely just waking up at this point and kind of swing wide.
Yep.
And so he's all, hey, wake up, sleepyhead. This wasn't like a jihad. This is just me trying to get you awake.
You know I don't like mornings.
And, well, I'm getting used to that. So I wanted to present an option to you because today is the day.
Yes. And she'll sit up then.
Okay. All right. So he says, so it's happening tonight, that White Dynasty. I figure, and by this point, real quick, out of character, it has been passed around that Damaris has the meet set. It is set for tonight.
Okay.
At 11 p.m. at a neutral location. If she wants to give the location to everybody, she can, but it's only specifically for Bastion, the Giovanni, and her.
Mm.
What you guys do from there is entirely up to you. And Rachel, you are muted.
Yeah, I will not be giving them the location.
Okay.
Smart
just
move.
to, just
Gotcha.
to keep it secure.
Sure,
yeah.
sure. So right about now, time-wise, it is 8 p.m. And so...
Todd, you're muted. There you go.
So Dahlia, he says, okay, so, yeah, Garrett's making punnies in the chat. So he says, so I know we have a little bit of time, before whatever's going to go on down tonight with your friends. So I'm sure you're probably going to want to be ready for that. But, if you want to do this, it is happening tonight. I figure we can probably sneak in, maybe poke around and check this place out. And if it looks too dangerous, we can back off and wait till things die down and maybe try to get the rest of your friends to come later on tonight or something. Otherwise, maybe dress up and look like we belong and see if we can figure out what's going on.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Well, I am going to go get drinks at this point downstairs. Why don't you take a moment and beautify this? Because I know, women, you have your thing.
A
that you like to do.
ritual.
Yes. That's a
Go.
good way of putting it. A ritual. I will be right back.
Dahlia will do her ritual and get ready.
Okay. Sure. No problem. I need to scroll up here. Okay. And so Carlos ends up bringing you a glass of blood, one for him, one for you.
Mm-hmm.
And he delicately hands it to you because you're already dressed and ready. He wants to make sure you don't accidentally spill it. He says, okay, so here you go. Give me a second. I'm going to throw on, obviously, something better. And I'll be ready in like 5.
Okay. Dolly will drink it.
Okay. So he downs his real quick and then goes in to get on like a nice suit and tie. And the two of you drive off across town.
Speaking of, Dahlia probably wears the dress she wore on their first date. That black dress.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good choice. So he takes you to what appears to be the airport.
Okay.
And he drives like the drive he's taking you is actually like onto the grounds itself, not where you would normally park your car, but where you would drive out to the hangars.
Oh. Okay. That's weird.
And so he's kind of like, following around. It's kind of dark out here. They don't have any inbound traffic. You do see the running lights on, obviously, so it's not like pitch black out here. And as he kind of makes his way around the airport in his car with you, you can see that one of the hangars is active. It's got several cars kind of parked around out front. They apparently have like some security there. You can hear because it's not like soundproof, obviously. You can hear what sounds like a big band playing. Probably playing some 20s style jazz.
Okay. I was like, I will ask Carlos. It's here at the airport in a hangar.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it seems a little weird, but I think that they have some logistical issues where it has to be like a kind of a bigger property.
Gotcha. It's just odd. It's weird.
I mean, yeah, but if you think about it, at least here you could probably get in and out pretty quick, right?
That's true. Good for us too, so we can get in and out quickly, hopefully.
I like your way of thinking. So I'm going to park a little ways back then, if that's okay. Can you run fast?
I don't have celerity, but I can run fast. I'm athletic.
Okay. So if something happens, I need you to stick out your hands and act like a battering ram. I'll just scoop you up and pick you up like a football and we will bolt because I do have celerity.
Okay.
I'm just trying to, I haven't done anything like this, let alone anything like this with you. So I'm just trying to like game plan ahead of time. So,
it's a good idea. I've never done anything like this either. So
you haven't? I thought you were like simpatico with the others. Like you guys did this like all the time.
No, not this covert thing.
Oh. So I'm not going to cue the Mission Impossible music then.
Probably not a good at now.
Okay.
Too thematic.
Right. And I am not. I'm not Tom. So.
No, you're not. But you're pretty cute still.
Oh well. Okay, you can keep that. So he offers his arm, and you guys kind of walk through the mostly dark way up to the where they have some of the cars parked. And as the two of you approach, the security guard asks for the tickets, and he reaches in and hands them tickets. As he said, he did manage to procure 2 of them. And they pat you down for weapons to make sure you're not, bringing anything. When they pat you down, they're a little specific. Like, they're not only just looking for weapons. You kind of get the impression they're looking for maybe wires or, anything that could be used as a camera.
Huh.
They're taking a extra precaution to make sure that, people aren't pulling some funny business.
Right. Because this is very secretive sort of thing.
Right. But as you walk in, it is. I mean, it's literally like a fine dining area just threw up in here. Like they've got several tables, all the cloths over them with the, they've got pieces on each table to make it look nice and decorative. Obviously, forks, spoons, like the whole silverware layout there. They've got kind of a raised platform where a band is playing. They've got stairs that go down either side. And like I said, it's a big band sort of place. So they've got like the guy playing piano. They've got a couple people on brass. They've got like a lead singer. They've got a guy on stand-up bass. It's like a whole shebang sort of thing.
Super, super fancy.
Yes, very. Everybody here is, tux, tie, well-to-do. You guys fit in, thankfully. But you get the impression.
It's like, good thing we wore the nice dress.
Exactly. So you get the distinct impression as you come walking in here, like, wow, this is money.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody in here, like even when they sit down, they've got that look of like their parents taught them how to properly sit, how to properly set the table, like everything.
They
about
know
it.
the salad fork between the regular fork and the dessert fork.
That they do. and there must already be 50 people in here. I mean, it's quite crowded. They've got the back section of the. They have the back section of the hangar. Looks like it's cordoned off with. That's probably where all the cooking is taking place. And they've got people coming in and out fairly regularly with servers bringing around like hors d'oeuvres and so on and so forth.
Okay. I will lean over to Carlos, still very kindly, but like, how did you afford this?
Would it help if I said Jedi mind trick?
Yes, actually, that does help.
Okay. I mean, I probably could have, but it felt safer not to have the paper trail. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
So he says, okay, so our tables are over here. You probably should do the snooping since you're the one that kind of really knows what you're what you're looking for. Dahlia gal, the science gal. And I'll keep it down.
Yeah, don't call me that again.
I'm trying to come up
not
with
a fan of Bill Nye.
Not okay. All right, whatever. I'll hang out at the table and kind of keep my eyes out. And if something happens or you might get like discovered or something, I'll try and make a scene.
Okay. I will go start looking around.
Okay. So he goes, I'm first, obviously the two of you go to your table to sit down and take your order. It looks like what's on the menu for tonight is Komodo dragon.
Ooh, fancy. Which we knew that already.
Correct. Yeah, the one that you got the tip off on was the apes that they had brought in for fine dining. But yeah, this one is supposedly Komodo dragon.
Okay, I'm gonna go snoop. Do I need to roll anything?
You do. It's going to be dexterity and stealth.
Okay.
Since you are currently out in the open and it's kind of a crowded setting, it's a difficulty 5. But if you attempt to go somewhere, Machinated Games is like, I'm offended on behalf of all Mokale everywhere. So since you're out in the crowded part, it's only difficulty 5. But as soon as you get into any place that's designated employee only, that's going to jump.
Okay. Get my dice app here.
I just wanted to ask, can you eat Komodo dragon? Is that like a thing?
You can. It's basically like lizard.
But isn't it like... Well, I guess they're not venomous, but they have a... I guess as long as you don't eat the face.
Yeah, not getting that far into detail, but yeah, I'm sure it's probably not much different than alligator. You can eat alligator, but alligators have the same thing where their bites can infect. So
Okay.
Except for there's a difference. Alligators are because there's stuff stuck in their teeth.
right.
Komodo dragons actually have venom that come from their teeth,
Mm-hmm.
and it eats away at cells and stuff. Sorry, nerd here, nature nerd. Okay, I got 2
Like a rattlesnake
successes.
pufferfish then too. I mean,
Okay.
if you know how to prepare it.
2 successes.
Sure. Okay. So you're kind of making your way through the crowd and not looking obvious or anything, just probably examining, or maybe you're moving from the floor, because there is an area for dancing too. So it's not like people are just stuck at their table.
Good way to make Carlos nervous again. He doesn't
Dancing?
like dancing.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Get over here. We're going to go dancing. Okay. All right. So as you make your way across the floor through the crowd, you can see again that the waiters they're busying themselves, going back, going to and fro, and you slip to the back.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me another check. This is at a difficulty 6.
And 2 successes again.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you continue. At first, you kind of act like it's no big deal, like you kind of belong. Nobody really pays close attention to you at first. And then you start kind of dipping behind some of the machines that they have set up for cooking, ovens and some of the areas that they have set up with a lot of trays for serving purposes, and kind of dipping and keeping your physical form obscured. You can see that they're currently cooking up a storm and getting things prepared. Why don't you let me grab a character sheet here real fast. Why don't you give me a perception and animal kin check?
Oh.
Difficulty 7.
Okay, perception and animal kin. Okay. Okay. I got 1 critical fail, so that's only 2 successes.
Okay, well, that's still some successes. So as you're basically your little eyes are kind of peering out from the serving trays that they've got there.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of peeking and looking and watching, and you're like, well, whatever that is, that doesn't look like what a lizard would look like being cooked.
Right.
That's weird.
Can I investigate further?
How would you like to investigate further?
I don't know.
To get a better look, you're going to have to try and sneak up closer, but that's going to put you quite possibly within eyesight of everything.
Okay.
Or you could attempt
all eyes on me.
Or you could attempt to when there's a break in the people walking by, servers coming in and out, you could attempt to walk out real quick, look, and then maybe hustle back to your hiding spot.
Let's try that.
Okay. Give me a dex and stealth check, difficulty 7.
Yes, that's 2 successes.
Wow. You are being very Soylent dragons. Soylent dragons are people. So you take a moment and you start timing it, and you're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then you dip out real quick to go take a look. You get a pretty close look of some of the food that they're currently preparing. The chef has got his back to you. And then you can see a nice row of like the greens that they're going to be putting out there and like the ingredients. So like they've got some salads, they've got their mushrooms, they've got, you know, a bunch of other things that they're going to be putting on there for garnishing or whatever have you. Go ahead and give me another perception check in Animalkin. Since you're closer, give me a difficulty 5.
3 successes.
Nice.
Also, are there any uniforms back there? Like open.
Why don't you give me a perception and alertness check? Good idea. Difficulty 6.
Okay.
Yes,
and
Brittany,
that was
she's
3
looking for
successes for
unicorns.
the other one. And then
Brittany is chiming
that
in
was
as a peanut
alertness
gallery.
and dex again?
No, that's alertness and perception.
Perception, sorry.
No, alertness and dexterity would be like catching a bullet.
Gotcha. And it was difficulty 6?
Difficulty 6, yes.
3 successes.
Wow, you are hot all of a sudden. For somebody saying
Don't jinx it.
For someone saying you didn't roll good.
I don't.
That deserves a
roll.
Ric Flair.
But I have a 7 dots to roll in that one.
All right, so you take a moment. You've looked at the garnishings and the food and whatnot, and now that you've gotten a closer look at that, that is definitely not lizard.
Okay.
But whatever it is, it's being set up as the prime dish. And it's made in a way to look like it could pass as a lizard. It could be a combination of meat somehow.
Gross. Meat surprise. Not so fancy.
And as you're looking quickly for a uniform, which you do find, a coat to wear.
Okay.
You also notice that your fungus is nowhere to be found.
Okay. Disappointing, but also a relief that they're not trying to zombify all these fancy people.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Okay, I will then exit.
with the employee
No, I'll probably
coat?
put the coat back if I can.
So
if not, I will then take it off and then just lay it over my shoulder, like not my shoulder, my arm, so it looks just like a jacket.
Okay. So to try and kind of sleight of hand your way out and make it not obvious that it's one of theirs.
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you, that's more of a presence thing. So why don't you give me a charisma and give me a charisma and performance. You're going to try and sell it.
Okay. And what was the difficulty?
Difficulty 6. I mean, it's not.
2 successes.
Wow. You are hot tonight for the 2s.
Shh, don't jinx it.
All right, so you walk back out, with the the coat kind of tucked over. It almost, the way you have it kind of sitting, it actually looks a little bit more like a towel.
Yeah.
At this point, and like nobody's even paying any attention to you. You are walking with purpose, like it's no big deal. You don't appear to be.
I belong there.
You belong, and you don't appear nervous whatsoever. So when you sit down, like Carlos is like, "Hun, what's that?"
Oh, it was a disguise, temporarily.
You swiped a disguise?
Yes.
High five?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, good job. So what did you find out?
She like lowers her voice, but still acts natural. It's not Komodo dragon and no sign of my mushrooms. So that is also a relief, but also disappointing.
Okay. That means they're conning these people.
Yeah. It's definitely not lizard of any sort. It kind of looks like a mixture of not lizard meat.
Okay, so what do you want to do about this? Because if you're right, then all these people here came to eat an endangered species, and they're getting conned.
I don't know. What
Do
do
you wanna
you
let 'em-
want to do?
I want to see them get conned. They kind of
Okay.
deserve it, don't they?
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Okay. Mission
This is
accomplished
on
then?
you. I don't know. Mission accomplished for me. How do we con them?
Well, we don't have to do anything. I mean, we can just get up and leave, I guess. But I guess that was the important thing, to find out, like, well, we still don't know how that tie happened, like how
No.
your fungus got in there.
Mm-mm.
You didn't hear anything or see anything that might.
Nothing. They're just cooking away back there.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what then. Why don't I'm not officially a part of like your group. So why don't I kind of keep my eye on some of these guys, like afterwards, maybe tail somebody and see if I can pick up something more. And that would leave you open in case they need you for something.
That'd be great.
Plus,
So we
we
just.
can't really eat anything anyways. Well, I mean, I can, but
You could,
yeah.
but yeah. I'm glad you did not waste your money and that you just conned someone into getting tickets.
Yeah, me too. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Cool. Okay. So then let's, I guess, skedaddle. Let's go ahead and get out of here then.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So you guys at that point pick up and take off. And that's what you spent probably about an hour in total getting that taken care of.
Okay. Also, she sets that disguise. Like, well, first she asks Carlos if he wants it. If
Oh,
not,
yeah.
she's gonna set it on someone else's chair.
Oh yeah, no,
So
they'll bring it along just in case.
okay.
I mean, who knows? Okay, so then as you take off. Okay, so the next scene we cut to at this point. So Henri, and you are currently riding with Danny, and Revis is in the vehicle behind you guys. You are all four of you are out in the middle of nowhere right now. And as Danny's pulling up at this point, he says, he looks around and basically you're coming up to a recreation center that's out in the middle of nowhere. So it's basically it's like a turnoff, and there's maybe some park benches out here, but lots of trees. You know, it's wooded, forested area, way outside of Ashland, like pretty far away. And as you guys come pulling up, he says, "All right, Henri." He says, "Well, we're here now. I guess you need to get your hunt on now, don't you? Do you hunt them down or?"
It makes it more preferable if I can hunt them down. Yes, but it's.
Oh, okay. Ain't nothing but a thing. Just you wait here, and we'll go get the hapless victim. And so, Revis, I'm assuming you're already invisible, like you normally do. Yeah. So the other car pulls up aside. It's got one of Danny's kin in there, driving, probably Skeeter.
Good girl.
Yeah. And so Danny comes to the back of his truck, drops the gate down at this point. And Danny, of course, he's in some kind of dirty clothing. For this, it's clear that he didn't want to put on anything nice or whatnot. And he grabs a hold of the arms of this person who's tied up, and you see this woman getting dragged out from behind. Danny Skeeter, of course, is a 13-year-old little girl, hillbilly, who don't have no license but can drive like a whistle, just like anybody else, just because it's okay because Danny says so. And Danny, of course, is another member of the Ashland Hillbillies, so take that as a descriptor as you will. And he, pulls the this girl out there, and she's like shaking. She's got blindfolds and whatnot on. And so he pulls that off. They got the lights shining in front of them. and he cuts the rope loose, and she's like looking around and trying to get her eyes to adjust. She's like, where am I? And he says, well, girl, it dawned on me that well, you probably deserve a fighting chance, I guess, with what's to come. And she's like, what do you mean? And he says, oh, girl, you ain't pretty enough to be this stupid. And so she's kind of looking alarmed real quick, and she's like, are you gonna kill me? And he's like, who, me? Nah, I'm here for cleanup. He says, and he says, now you might want to get running if you want to have any chance of being a main character in this part of the story, because once my boy gets running, he gets them meat mittens going. It's just going to be, you're going to have hell to pay.
Oh, boy.
And she just like turns, she like looks around, doesn't even know where she's going, and just bolts into the woods. And he says, anytime now, Mr. Henri, you might want to get going.
Oh, merci beaucoup. And then I turn around and look where she went, and I haul ass.
Okay, so do you have any celerity?
I do.
Then my question is, are you going to burn any to catch her? Because if you burn a point of blood, you're going to catch her.
I don't want to burn a point of blood yet. I want to just kind of like I want to see how fast she is and enjoy this.
Okay.
Revish just lurks and obfuscate, making sure we don't stumble upon someone who's not supposed to be here. And might inadvertently become part of the necessary cleanup.
Yeah.
For my own visual, I just want to say I'm imagining this: just ladies running through the woods, and it cuts to Henri, and he's Pepe Le Pewing through the woods.
I am looking somewhere to find you, my little pigeon.
You can run, but you can't hide.
You can run, but you cannot hide, no?
I smell the perfume, and it's so sweet. That's all.
Okay, so then since you are running after her, you do get the chance to see where she's going, and of course she's running haphazardly. And Danny kind of just leans against the truck at this point, and he says, and he looks at Scooter and he says, now see that there, you don't want to do that, Scooter, because he didn't even know what the hell she done to wind up in this situation. But I figure when he gets all done with everything, she already has plenty of alcohol in her system. We just toss her up as a marinade. It's all good. Scooter's just like, oh, she just kind of does this like thumbs up sort of thing. Why don't you give me, since you're just a flat out run, give me strength. If you have potence, you can add to that roll, and athletics.
Okay.
Over the meadow and through the woods to grandmother's house we go.
So difficulty?
Difficulty 6. I mean, the only way you're not going to catch her is if you botch at this point.
Ooh, I got 2 10s. So I have six successes.
Oh, good grief. So you despite the fact that you are attempting to savor the run at this point, you're more like an amped up Jason who didn't realize he was way faster than the camper. So you just run her right over. Just boof, 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 and she just hits the dirt, in this wooded area. And for those of you who need a visual, this is actually taking place at Deep Gulch Recreation Area in Oregon. So she hits the ground and just and does a little bit of a roll, comes up against some rocks, and she's like, terrified at this point. She's like, no, I didn't mean it. Just like, screaming. You can smell the alcohol coming off her.
When I smell the alcohol, I'll be like, oh, you have been drinking. That's not as fun as it could be. But I like the fear. Well, one moment. I turn my protean eyes on. I go protean. So like I just
okay.
Just to add to the effect at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make it. You still could see because there was car lights behind you, but now you have gleaming red Batman searchlights for eyes, which just freaks her out even more. Yeah, this would be a masquerade breach if she ran away, but
right.
I can't imagine she's going to.
No, and now she's probably stammering with. I'm like, oh, this is much better. So you get this, the fear will counteract the alcohol effects. Oh, maybe I'm confusing you, but that's all right. And like protean claw, and I just slash her throat out, and then I feed.
Right. So I'm not going to make you role play all that out. However, go ahead and erase a point of humanity.
Ooh, no.
Yep, I double checked that.
Holy crap. Okay.
Wow.
You have humanity?
Yeah, I'm like shocked at that.
I have 2 now. I wasn't yet, now I have 2.
And so, Revis, at this point, you can hear what sounds like a wild animal just going
about
at it.
what I expected.
Yeah.
Pretty much what I expected. And, I just walk up and make sure that he finishes and he's not out of control.
Give me a self-control check, difficulty 6, Henri. More for the fact you've got the alcohol in your system at this point.
Okay. 4 successes.
Wow.
4, okay.
I got a 10, 9, 8, 7.
So aside from the fact you've got a buzz, everything feels right in the world at this point. Although you do realize you never asked what this person did to deserve the death. So this might have violated what you were told to do. But you're assuming Danny picked someone out who probably deserved it. So you're not really worrying about that right now.
Between Danny and Revis, I'm assuming they've taken care of that. So if that's dawning on me right now, I'm going to when I get back to Danny or when Danny comes to do cleanup, I'll ask at that point.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you drain this person, dry at this point. And she is, well, I mean, not dry, because that would be putting you well over your max. You wouldn't be able to do that, but you easily kill this person and drain them. You're at full blood. You drain them of half of their vitae, and what little they had left, they left out, bleeding. And at this point, Danny comes walking up with a hatchet, and Skeeter kind of sitting behind, standing a little ways back behind him. And he says, well, damn there, Henri. Sure,
wow.
You took a little bit.
Jerome, you just locked up.
Did he?
Yep.
Not
I can't hear him. There he goes. He's starting to move now.
He seems fine to me.
It might be you there, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I heard and saw everybody just fine.
Okay. It's better now, but it looked like you locked up to me.
Mm.
If it happens again, I'll come back in.
Okay. Yeah, no, if I start to lock up, I start to see all of you go away because I'm hosting the
Okay,
game.
I'm going to have to come back in. You just did it to me again.
Yeah, no problem. So we're waiting for him to come back. So he's just, got the hatchet at this point, and he starts cutting her up body part wise, turning her into mulch, essentially, and getting her into more manageable pieces.
Revis will go to over where Henri is standing and goes like, I've got to change the clothes for you. You're going to strip out of these here. You come back to the car. You put on clean clothes after you've wiped down. I'll have rags. It'll all go in a bag and be burned before we return.
This is smart. I like this. Danny, I don't mean to interrupt. But,
no, yes, sir. What's going on?
So what did she do? Why is she here?
Oh, you really want to care for the details? I guess I ain't no, never mind. Her name was Heather Garcia. She had a little bit too much to drink, and when sometimes people do that, they tend to get loose lips. And she happened to let it loose that police were wanting her because she done shook her baby too much and killed that baby.
Oh,
so I figure she had something coming.
No, I am okay with this. It is the balance. It is so she kills, and she can be killed as well. So it's the balance is right.
No, it's all good. I already got her details tucked away. We're going to make sure to leave a little bit of her stuff out here, make it look like animal caught up to her because she was on the run anyways. Maybe got, hitchhiked, dropped off someplace unsafe. You got nothing to worry about. We're going to take her back, roast her up on spit. It's all good.
All right. If we are going to do this again, I mean, women are nice, but I prefer to hunt as a man because they're quicker and
okay, I will keep that in mind. Just keep in mind, though, beggars can't be choosers.
Oh, no.
I may not always have the opportunity to snag a dude who's done something wrong.
No, I understand. Well, I will work with you. This contained environment. Meanwhile, I'm completely disturbed. This contained environment is much better. It's
Yeah, at that point, he like covers up Skeeter's eyes. Like, whoa, hold on a second there, Henri. You could talk. Just turn around.
Oh, I'm sorry, Skeeter. You need to turn your back. We work together every day. So I don't want to do say.
Yeah, but that don't mean Skeeter wants to see you're raising nets on a daily. Just be a little modest.
No, it's the modesty. But no, it's okay. I apologize. That's all right. I have 3 clothes here. I don't know whose clothes they were, but they can be burned easily. I just need something to. Reba said to wipe down. I need something to wipe down before I get dressed.
Yep. Nope. I have wipes in the car. It's all going to get added to the little pier that's going to burn. So there's no physical evidence left.
Garrett just said she was locally sourced, free-ranged organic murder.
Oh.
She wasn't organic.
Of course she was organic.
Alcohol.
Alcohol is organic. It's grapes.
Or grain.
Wine.
Yeah.
And at that point, Danny says, so Mr. Rivas, Mr. Henri, Skeeter's going to drive you all back into town. I'm going to get this taken care of and get the rest of the amends taken care of. So you got something else or a business place you like to be, she'll get you taken care of.
Okay. Danny, I will, as we agreed upon, I will take care of your instruction.
Oh, sure thing. Now, I figured y'all would get me taken care of. Oh, and since I'm thinking about it here, Mr. Rivas, your dog that you were inquiring about, he's almost full and mature. We got a couple modifications we want to do, and then we'll be ready to run by you.
I appreciate it, Danny. I have faith in you that you're doing it right.
Ain't no thanks. Y'all have a good night, and I'll get this all taken care of lickety split.
All righty. Thank you, Danny, once again. I appreciate your efforts on our behalf. And then I will escort my companion, make sure he's cleaned up, get him dressed in clothes, and we will depart.
What did you get me to wear, by the way?
I found some old French provincial clothes in the leftover bins.
I'm happy with that.
Because that's where you would find French provincial clothing.
Yep.
As long as it's not like t-shirt and jeans. I'm not excited about t-shirt.
No, I found some baggy stuff and loose white shirts. It's okay.
So at that point, Sophie, we are back to you now, since we've got that part wrapped up. I'm assuming with everything that's going to be happening, you've called for a gathering because you want to get everybody together and get their feedback and or be ready if something happens.
Yeah, I'll call for everybody to be on standby. Since apparently I don't know where the meeting is going down, I'll just say, I guess we'll go ahead and do the cannery again. Oh wait, okay. How many? We won't fit in the cannery, will we?
You guys have been to the cannery 3 times now.
Rivas will mention the fact that the club can be visited.
Okay, we'll do the club.
Which one?
The one I have. I'll open the doors. We can use it once for this time. It's got plenty of room for people.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. There's also Malcolm's club that I forgot about.
Yeah, that's why I was.
But, okay, yeah, we'll try Rivas's club.
Okay. So then, Stephen, what does the club now look like, and what is its name? I'll leave that description up to you.
It's Absinthe and Malice is what it's named. All I did is take the club as it was and refurbish some things, made it look a little bit newer. There's some new decorations. It's been cleaned up and made as pretty as possible for that type of club. I guess for the word is it went from, I don't know what out of character. I don't know what it looked like originally. So I'm going to say it's upscaled just a touch from what it was, not knowing what it was.
It looked like Rob Zombie had thrown up in it.
Okay. No, it's definitely upscaled then.
A lot of throwing up tonight.
When you walk in, you'll see there are artificial black roses on the table. Like I said, it's much cleaner, and it'll just be me there to greet them. And when you come to the door, Revis will insist that you come through once at a time, because when you come through the door, you're going to walk through sand that's on the floor. And this is how I'm making sure that no one's coming in obfuscated, at least walking through.
Smart. So everybody is showing up there respectively at differing times. At this point, it's probably about 9 p.m. time-wise. Just letting you guys know.
Mm-hmm. I will greet everyone as they come in and let people in. And I will mention as they come in, there is no refreshments here at this point. So,
Revis, would you have dropped me off at my haven or taken you with me back to your club?
I would have taken you with me back to the club.
Okay.
Jerome.
For the simple reason that I want to make sure you're not blood drunk.
Jerome, do you want me to roll for my nightly rituals?
Yes, in the chat, please.
Okay.
All right, so once everybody's there that's going to be there, we'll just take a seat or stand or whatever and just...
I'm not sure if Damaris will have time to join.
Damaris will have time to join.
She will?
Oh,
okay. Because I'm prepping some things beforehand, that's why. So, okay,
you're doing
well, I'll
scrying,
join
right?
for the opportunity. Well, I'm doing scrying, but I'm also preparing those rituals as well.
Yeah, that's not gonna take you a couple hours to get done.
Oh, okay. I thought it would. Okay.
No,
Then I will be there.
And besides, this is 9 p.m., so you had time before this meeting too to set that up.
That's true. Okay.
I'm in the vicinity too, is right? So I can come to this meeting? Okay.
Yeah, it's just where this is at, it's on the other side of town, but on the south side.
Okay.
So thankfully you don't have, you're probably one of the first people there at this point, because from the airport to where this is at, you don't have to cut through downtown, so you're missing a lot of that traffic.
Got it. Probably dressed in the same way I was dressed before.
Sophie will notice, and she'll say, "Dahlia, you look very lovely tonight."
Thank you. We had a lovely get together, and then Carlos went home, dropped me off here.
Nice. How's that going?
So far, so good. It's different living with a guy.
It takes a little getting used to.
But
we're
it's
not that
pleasant.
difficult to live with. Jeez.
Depends on the guy. No, it's just different. Girls are different than guys, fundamentally.
Learn to put the gold toilet seat down, Ben.
Right. We'll get on that.
Carlos is not used to living with a girl that does not like mornings. So
You know, it took Colin some getting used to that too. But anyway, welcome everyone.
Steven, you're muted.
Jerome, I got 1 success for defensive wooden stake, and I failed at Heart of Stone.
Okay, so no for Heart of Stone. Got the other one.
Mm-hmm. Burnt myself with the damn candle.
That's what happens when you play with fire.
Mm-hmm. Or Ben walks in.
Yeah, that happens on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. When Ben
I never
walks
know
in.
where she's going to do her rituals.
And his name is John
She just picks a random day. Anyway, what's on the agenda?
Well, it sounds like tonight is the night. And none of us are invited, so I just thought it would be wise for us to be on standby in case something untoward occurs and we're needed.
Were you told where it was? Do any of us know where the thing is?
I don't think so.
All right.
I'm sorry, but I can't tell you this one.
Oh, and when Steph went through the door, she purposely stepped over the sand. She's still not quite sure why he's putting sand down.
Okay.
But he's a Sedite, so who knows?
Yeah, because this is a neutral sort of setup. The agreement was just to have us, the Giovanni, Malcolm, his team, Bastion, and myself. So I really want to tell you guys, and if you're smart, I'm sure you can figure it out. But at this point, I can't disclose the location.
Well,
What are the?
as long as
Can't hear you, Stephen.
Yeah, none of us can hear you, Stephen.
You
Sorry.
sound like you're muted.
It may be the jack because it doesn't look like he's muted on the side.
Mm-mm.
Poor Stephen.
He's dealing with technical difficulties. Go ahead and continue. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I mean, that's pretty much what I have to say about it. I just, I really want you guys to be their backup, but yeah, it's between me and Bastion.
Well, just text 911. And if you can, where? And we'll come.
What are the chances you think that this is going to go bad?
It's a Sabbat she's meeting with.
You know, not every Sabbat is
How's that,
always
Jerome?
deceitful.
Oh, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you now.
It changed the setting when I logged back in. I don't understand.
But I don't know what to expect at this point. The fact that he even agreed to it, I don't know. I mean, got something pretty important, I feel, to him. Otherwise, I don't think that he would have agreed so easily. He strikes me as the person that likes the chase.
Well, he does like the theatrics.
Right.
Do you think Malcolm and his men are going to be enough to deal with them if things go belly up?
Do you know how many of his team will be there?
Do I know Jerome? I don't think I do.
Nope.
Yeah. I don't know how many. I wasn't told that. I was just told Malcolm and his team from Trudy.
I would guess that they're familiar with who they're dealing with. I'm
Very
sure
likely.
they have their own sources of information,
Mhm.
and no one in his position really has the luxury of underestimating an opponent. I certainly wouldn't if I was him in neutral territory. So I would guess they go towards overkill. I would hope.
Yeah, hopefully.
I would think so too. But I mean, we already know that he's got this Bastion guy. He's got some daring, but this is something happens at that meeting. He's throwing away a lot of delicate politics. So.
And at that point, there is a knock at the club door.
Revis goes to the door and takes a look.
You actually see a above average looking woman in plain clothes. Looks like she has just kind of a full turtleneck like shirt on, full sleeves, a simple belt with what appears to be. They could be tactical pants like BDUs, or maybe they could be just like more camping gear looking thing. Her hair pulled back into a ponytail. You've never seen her before in your life. She could be Middle Eastern.
I pop the door open a little bit and go, "Can I help you?"
And she, when she sees you, she says, "Oh, I did not realize that this was your place. Emissary Revis, correct?
Correct.
She
And
says,
you,
I was here to see Ms. Trudy Maxwell. Is she here?
she's here. Can I tell her who's calling?
Oh, she
Mm-mm.
she says, my name is, one second.
She's not here.
He still said it in character.
Yep.
She says, my name is Zyla Ib Dawood.
Okay. Pardon me for a second. I need to verify. And I turn around to Trudy, and I tell her, someone's here for the Baroness. And I give her the name, because I'm not going to try and say that, Jerome. Sorry. And
Trudy,
how would you like this to be?
Trudy
How would you
isn't
like
here. The Baroness is actually here.
Oh, I said, okay, never mind. I go,
This is why I
Baroness.
have the costume.
Yes.
Yeah. I go, Baroness, do you know who this is and why they would be coming here to meet you?
Didn't she say she was looking for Trudy?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't look familiar to me, does she?
No.
No, but should we invite her in?
Perhaps maybe we should contact Miss Trudy and ask her.
I kind of look over at the sweeper and go, I'm guessing this is Kindred. Why don't you step to the door in your official position and ask the pertinent questions?
Yeah, Ben gets up, walks over. He first takes a look using Auspex to make sure that she's a vampire.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage. Perception and empathy, difficulty 8.
Seth will text Trudy and ask her if she knows this person.
Are you going to take a picture or anything?
Well, I can't. No, she can't.
No.
She's not at the door.
So
It's
you
night
get,
and
so
the flash
you
would be obvious.
so then Trudy, you would end up getting, since she's texting you, you end up getting what appears to be a phonetically spelled name and no picture.
Does Trudy recognize?
No.
Okay, she'll text back. Doesn't ring a bell. She say what she's doing here?
And she will relay that to the Sedite, to Revis, that the name does not register with Miss Trudy.
Okay.
And so Ben, you scanned her. She is coming up with a vibrant aura as if somebody was alive. Very calm and patient, though.
Okay. And she's wearing combat BDUs?
Or khakis of some kind. It's hard to tell in this light, but they could pass either way.
Does she look anything like Molotov did? That lady who blew up her house to get away from us that one time.
No. If
Okay.
anything, she probably looks like somebody who just stepped out of like a Cabela's or a Bass Pro.
So she looks slightly tactical.
Slightly tactical, maybe hunterish. You know.
Ooh.
Okay. And her aura is like vibrant. Even is it more vibrant than a typical human?
No.
Okay. Then Ben goes, evening. You said you're here for Trudy?
Yes. You must be Benjamin, the sweeper.
Got some decent information. She's not in right now. What exactly were you looking to do with Miss Trudy?
I was actually being presented to her. I apologize if she's actually not here. But you can tell her that I come as an offering from Shunin Rawan.
Oh, shit.
Gesundheit. What was the
Reavers
name?
kind of walks up behind Ben and goes, Trudy doesn't recognize the name?
Okay, ask him if Shunan Aran rings any bells.
Somebody want to spell that?
I probably mispronounced it a little bit, but it's ANUSHIN RAWAN.
You're gonna put it in Messenger, right?
You asked to spell it, and then you asked me to.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We need
It would
both,
be too
Jerome.
easy.
Both.
Yeah. Reavers goes, Ben, what
Oh,
did
we
she
just got
say?"
rated. Thank you, Table of Horrors, for your rate of 21. Yay!
Woo!
Jerome, I have a quick. Does this? Because I know that there. Well, because there were some. Do either of those names sound familiar to me from the meeting we went to where we met the Prince of Portland?
No.
No. Okay.
However, if do you have any? You should have cam lore of something, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Why don't you roll your intelligence and a cam lore, since part of your memory used to belong to somebody else? You have the a possibility of knowing who this is. Difficulty 8.
Intelligence.
If anybody else would like to make that roll, it's intelligence and cam. Difficulty 10. You may not spend willpower.
Okay, so difficulty
Okay,
8.
so intelligence and
Cam lore.
cam. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Difficulty 10.
I got a failure. I got a 10 and then a 1.
Okay.
So you have. How do you only have 2 points between intelligence and cam lore?
Oh shoot.
Well, I have 2 intelligence and I have
Did it
3 in
wrong.
cam lore.
Okay.
But no, I meant so I got a fail because I had a dice pool of 5, but I got a 10.
I just want to make sure you had a dice pool of 5 at least.
Oh yeah,
Because there for a minute I was like, wait a minute.
Oh no, yeah, I did the dice roll I think right, but
Sure. Okay.
yeah, I had a 10, but then a 1.
Okay, no problem. So you have no idea.
Technically, I got 1.
Cam lore and intelligence.
Cam lore and intelligence, difficulty 10.
I got 1 success.
So anybody who has
Nope.
1 success, the only thing that you could take away from that is the name sounds familiar in the sense that they are important to the Camarilla.
Yeah. I would guess.
But beyond that, you're like,
Reavers talks to Ben and goes, I'll repeat myself. Did she say what she was here for?
She's being offered from Ashunan Aran to Miss Trudy.
Reavers goes, Ben, open the door and bring her inside, please.
All right. Zedden opens, lets her inside.
okay. And so she looks down, she steps on the sand, and she's like, oh, smart.
Reavers goes, good evening. As the emissary for the Baroness, your arrival has certain political implications, and you're here as an offering by that individual. An offering in what manner?
That would be for me to discuss with Ms. Maxwell.
Okay.
But in the loosest terms, I am here to assist.
Okay.
Because that's all Trudy needs is more ghouls.
Reavers would go, do you have accommodations for the night?
Yes, I do, actually.
Okay. Are they safe accommodations?
100%, yes. They were secured
Okay.
prior to my entrance to the city.
Thank you. Reavers would take out his phone and give her his number
Okay.
and say, if you need something, please reach out. We will let her know and arrange for you to meet her as quickly as possible. She is not available tonight, unfortunately.
Oh, well, then I guess I arrived at the wrong moment, or at least the wrong location. But be that as it may, and she just kind of looks to everybody abroad, she says, my services are yours until I can make other arrangements.
Okay. And that entails what? Loosely, you may not be able to tell me. I understand that, but I'm curious as to what actually is being offered.
What is required? My services are typically more in the sense of a domo type of position.
Ah, okay, that explains it. Thank you. Due to the nature of events happening this evening, since you have someplace safe to stay, I would heartily recommend that you go to them until we reach back out to you. There are events in motion tonight which we're hoping go well, but we would be reluctant to have you become aware of for the political reasons.
Understood.
Maybe let's contact Trudy and get her because if this person has been sent to be useful for this evening, I would hate to send them away for the night. And
Well, she has my phone number and we can reach her.
True, but I think before we send her off to wherever she's going to stay, why don't we just verify that before we send her off?
Yeah, I feel that we should let Miss Trudy know that her offering is here.
By all means, go ahead.
So, since Seth will shoot a text over to her.
Okay. And so Trudy
And
obviously
ask,
gets
what do you? Yeah, and she'll ask,
another
what do you
weird
want
text.
to do with?
Your offering is here.
What do you want us to do with her?
Well,
What
we'll
was
put-
it she said?
We'll ask her what her name. We'll ask her how to spell her name so we can put it in the text.
Yeah, did you put that in Messenger? Both names?
No, not yet.
Oh, I
That's
thought I
okay.
had that one in
There
there.
we
I
go.
copied it down, but I didn't.
Okay.
I guess I didn't
You
hit send.
send.
There we
And
go.
then the
That's
one
her
that she
name.
was, the
And
one
that's
that
who
she
she
was
sent
sent
from.
by. Okay, thank you.
Got it.
There you go.
Thank you.
And she approaches Sophie at this point, and with a scrap of paper writes down a number, and she says Baroness, and hands the paper to Sophie. And she says, if you are in need of my assistance, I imagine I will be here to assist you and the other anarchs at Miss Maxwell's behest.
Thank
Do
you.
you prefer to be called Zyla?
Zyla, yes.
Zyla, okay.
Zyla. What was it she said her services were?
She
Domo.
just referred to it as a domo.
Domo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know
Yeah.
what that is.
Similar to a castellan.
I don't know what that is either.
They're quasi-medieval terms for people who run large estates, castles, things like that. Sometimes they have political connotations to them, the Domo one more than the Castellan. So,
Do we know what that would mean for us? Is it in a medieval sense? Yeah, but like in a modern sense, like what does that mean? This lady.
it depends on if the person who sent her is medieval or modern. Now, wouldn't it? We don't know.
Are you asking in or out of character?
Oh, I was asking out of character because
Okay.
I thought we were kind of figuring out what.
No,
this term meant.
that's fine. I just clarifying because I just need to know if I need to respond.
Okay. Yeah.
So what is Trudy's response?
Oh gosh. She'll say, this is unexpected. Do I need to attend to it right now?
Seth will say, I don't know, but she's now your domo, whatever that is.
Trudy will say, get her contact and I'll be in touch as soon as I can.
And she'll give her a thumbs up. And she will ask for the girl's contact information, and she will text that to Trudy.
Okay. So she provides a phone number to her.
Okay.
So Sophie will shake her hand or offer to shake her hand and say, may I ask where you're joining us from?
Oh, I know where that's from. I just didn't write that down. Hold on one second. I did not expect that.
Do not expect a question.
Not that specific question.
You're supposed to accept all these things readily with belief.
Gift horse in the mouth.
Drum didn't expect us to ask good questions.
So she is. She says, "I come from the island of Euros. It's a small Greek island in the Aegean."
Oh, you've come a long way to Ashland.
I have, yes.
And what did you say was the nature of your expertise?
She says, in layman's terms, I often act as a domo, but specifically an operator.
And I'm an operator,
Yes, ma'am.
like a telephone operator.
Oh, no,
She's
ma'am.
a special agent. She's well trained to do different things.
Oh, an agent.
I'm led to understand that some of you have had dealings with Mr. Draybergen and have dealt with some of the individuals under his care. I am similar, but from a different individual.
Oh.
Revis just kind of
very, very
grimaces.
Does that help clarify, ma'am?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Are you hungry?
No, ma'am. I had something on the flight over.
Okay. She's gonna look around like anyone else.
So Ben will say, Baron, I'll ask you, are you fine with Zyla being here while we talk about other things?
If I'm being frank, I think it may be prudent to vet her before discussing anything sensitive.
I completely understand. I came unannounced. I will excuse myself and make contact with Ms. Maxwell. I hope to see the rest of you at some point soon. Thank you for your time.
Revis will thank her and escort her politely to the door and open it and let her exit. And he'll stand there and make sure she safely leaves. I don't know if she's got a car.
She does.
I didn't observe. Okay.
It is just a basic sedan. Out of character, it's nondescript, like a purple neon.
Like a purple neon?
Yeah, that was a running joke. Somebody had wanted a nondescript car, and then they said, like a purple neon. And we're like, purple
Yeah, that's
neon?
real discreet.
Yeah.
So he will make sure she gets away safely and then close the door and indicate that she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, am I the only one that feels that was slightly odd?
I would like to know how she knew where to find us.
And who everyone is.
Yeah.
Revis just kind of looks around and goes, you do know what she represents, right?
No.
No.
Do explain.
She was sent.
She's the agent in all probability, for a mummy that opposes the one we're dealing with.
She's an agent of the mummy, or
Probably. It doesn't always work that way, and I'm not familiar enough to say anything really more than that. But if she's here to oppose him.
That would make sense why she's here for Trudy.
Well, this
And
could be very useful.
But the flip side to all that is, it reveals the fact that Trudy's actions are known in circles that really she's unfamiliar with, as I indicated earlier when this topic came up, and are immensely dangerous. Be incredibly cautious. I mean that in all seriousness. This would like be getting caught between two very large boulders, and all you are is a cracker.
I think it would be wise that she is not in attendance at our meetings.
Yeah, I mean, at least not for now. Until, like what Baron said, we get to vet her and find out exactly what's going on with that.
And you can see the seriousness of what I say by the fact she knew all of us by looking at us. All of us.
Is it
were
possible?
identified.
Is it possible she learned who we were from Trudy?
No. Well, I should not say no. I cannot say. You would have to ask Trudy that.
I do not think so, because Trudy did not know who
There are eyes.
they were.
I mean, I met with Lucinda, who's, high up there. There were other people who knew who I was. Ergo, I would expect there are people who keep tabs. I mean, there's the Anarch Free Press. They talk about goings on here. It's not unthinkable that people would know who we are if they're coming here.
I didn't think we were that interesting.
Unfortunately,
That's funny.
Aren't we the only Anarch city currently?
We are the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a big deal.
We are a big deal.
Sophie's our George Washington.
But with much better teeth and hair, etc.
I don't know. George had a really nice wig.
This is not the best place to hide it, but
Yeah, I'm not too fond of those wigs myself.
Yeah.
Come
I
on.
can imagine why.
Think of, you'd have to learn how to powder it and put it on properly and maintaining the curls. They didn't have curling irons then, so it was really difficult.
Do you still own yours?
No, I gave it up when I came over into the Americas.
I can see the disdain on Ben's face.
He's got history with history.
But that's a closed chapter. We dealt with those scumbags. We're good to go as far as that goes. Which reminds me, as far as everyone's names being known by different people and stuff, just as the sweeper, as the security guy here, don't get it in your heads that security is going to be perfect. People are going to know who we are.
It's sadly a given. I just don't like the source in this case, which is personal, but I'll readily admit that.
We spy on people all the time. I wouldn't be surprised. But with that, Remus will text Jeeves and his family and be like, some things might be going down tonight. Keep both eyes open.
Okay. They give you thumbs up, and the house they're gonna make sure the house is secure.
Okay, and we're still at we're not in our digs yet. We're at the temporary place.
You're in your digs.
Oh, we are. Oh, okay.
Ben, is
I
Jesse
need to
in-
send you the location for it. I haven't sent that to you yet, but yeah, you're in your digs. I think you'll like it.
Okay, cool.
Ben,
Yeah, babe.
is Jesse and Jim at the house?
Would we have seen them, Jerome, before we left? Like, are they still
Jesse's
in her place,
there.
or-
Jim has been helping out, obviously, at forfeit now.
Okay,
So he tends to shuttle back and forth time-wise.
gotcha.
Um,
Yeah,
to-
Jess is at the house, but Jim's still working.
Perhaps maybe you should let Jesse would kind of follow suit of Remus and make sure Cindy and my mother
Yeah,
are secure.
that's a good point. Good point. So he pulls out his phone and texts Jesse and everybody who would be in that house at this point. Says, make sure to stay home. Don't let anybody in unless we come back. Things might be going down tonight.
Yeah, I would brief my people to essentially just be like, we are expecting possible trouble all over the place. Just make sure that you all are safe.
Okay. Yeah. You get thumbs up. Everybody is prepared. Now that you've let them know.
Yeah, I just didn't want to be vague.
Damaris, your alarm on your phone goes off. Gives you about 20 minutes to get there.
Yep. All right, guys, I'm gonna need to go now.
Do you need anything?
Just I'm not religious, but maybe some prayers.
You want a shotgun? I got one in the.
No, because I don't think that's gonna do me any good.
I can give you one of my blades, my burning blades.
No.
If
Actually, Ben, if you have a handgun, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I know the prayers, but I have not said the prayers in quite some time.
So Ben goes ahead and takes his heavy pistol out, and he flips on the safety and hands that to her. There's one in the chamber, full mag.
Okay, thank you.
If you wanted us to be at a place in case things went down, where would you want us to be? You don't have to tell us where this is happening, but if it would be helpful for us to be 2 miles away.
All I can tell you is that it's within 15 minutes of here that I'm aware of. I can't give you a location. I'm sorry.
No,
I want you guys to help, but I can't give you anything like that.
Like I said before, 911 and the location, and we will be there.
Yeah. And if you
Have
can't
it in your phone ready.
Right.
I will.
You can do that, or there could be a place like a rendezvous or something. Like if things go south and you need to escape somewhere, you could tell us where that's going to be. I mean, anything. It's rough having just you and a handful of Malcolm's dudes.
I know. And I know that this is a huge risk, but I got to do it. So I've made arrangements of my own as far as what to do with things if I don't come out of this, but I think I will.
Yes, please do.
Break a leg.
It's my time. It's my time.
I'd offer to give you a hug, but I don't think you're the hugging type.
I'm not a hugger.
So he goes ahead and gives her a hug anyway.
Dahlia will also give her a hug anyway.
Aw, the vamply.
Aw.
I see them hugging her, so I start to walk over like, oh.
She's just like, I get it, guys. You like me. You really like me.
It was worth a shot.
Damaris is basically recreating the role from Mystery Men when the spleen tried to hug Janine Garofalo's character. She just holds up her hand. There's not enough alcohol in the world.
Dahlia will also tease her and say, I hope you come back, Grandma.
Yeah, I'll have aged a bit more after this. Do you think I can take my hair? Okay, so she'll get up, take the gun with her, and go.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your.
It would
I don't
be
think we have.
my
No, we do. So
Crimson Woad.
no, for you, it is going to be your dexterity and larceny.
Oh, to hide the gun.
Oh, dexterity and larceny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're probably gonna search you, everybody.
And if you have celerity, because it's a part of your dexterity, you can
I do.
add your celerity dice.
Okay.
Wait, you can add celerity to like hide and stuff.
Anything that requires dexterity, yes.
And difficulty 6.
Yeah, difficulty 6.
Yeah, celerity for the win.
I just don't know how super speed helps me hide stuff unless like it's in the moment where it's like I don't want you to see what I did with it, like sleight of hand.
Dude, like
Why are you questioning that?
celerity with happening.
And the cards, when they're throwing that card back and forth.
Yeah, there you go.
So what do you get, Damaris?
The timing.
3.
3, okay. So what you attempted to do was just fine.
Cool.
And you leave. So you drive to the coordinates. It is a power substation on the outskirts of town. It's got several transformers and obviously lines coming off from it, going into the town and going, out of town, obviously running along the freeway at certain points. You can already see that there's 5 cars parked here at various points.
Now, I did arrange for the items to be cared for with Malcolm's team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
And you see Malcolm is actually there. Malcolm actually has an assault rifle on him. And it's basically already slung, and he's just kind of holding it like this. If anybody knows what a Steyr AUG looks like, that's what he has.
Steyr AUGs are cool.
Yep.
Especially silenced.
So I'll walk up.
And he says, "We're still waiting for the other individual for this exchange to show."
Understood.
So you can see people walking around, the perimeter and whatnot.
Okay. I do have a firearm, just so you're aware.
That's fine. Didn't say you could. You couldn't come armed.
I understand, but fair warning. She also has her staff with her as well.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, and she'll go in. Check on the items first, since she's got a little bit of time while we're waiting for him. Make sure they're all good, and yep.
Okay, well, so as they they sit around and wait, Malcolm's staying close to the car because they're in a trunk at this point, and so something happens, they just there's somebody parked in the driver's seat. They just need to know something's going on, and they pull away. That's just all there is to it. And then as you guys are waiting at this power substation, the only light that's here is one street light that kind of overhangs the substation itself. So there's not a whole lot of lighting. And then you see basically the shadows from nearby kind of seep into the light just a bit. And you see a kindred form from the shadows.
Entrance as always.
So he looks around and he bows politely and he says, "Bastion, I presume?" And he says, "Yes, that is I." And he kind of looks at him for a second, and he looks at Damaris, and he says, "You can stay put for the time being. We're going to make sure that the area is clear." And then he motions to some of his people, and they go walking around. They pull out what appear to be small but very powerful flashlights. They're those ones that you see in the YouTube ads that like planes can see them flying over, sort of look like.
Yep.
And he says, all right. He says, so the both of you know how this is going to work. You know what the agreement was that was asked for. Should you agree to this, this means that you're going to leave Ashland promptly. You're going to take you will take the item. Damaris is off limits, and whatever aggression or acts of aggression you have currently are done. And he kind of shrugs and he says, well, I would like to see the item first, kind of, smugly. And he says,
Well,
Damaris, you have an item to present first for veracity.
I do. And she'll go and retrieve the journal first.
Okay, he doesn't let you do that.
Oh, okay. I motioned towards the journal.
Yeah, basically you just direct them and they're going to do it. And it's to ensure that the two of you don't interact.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
And so some guy walks over, and you can tell Bastion is not totally okay with dealing with underlings or humans or whatnot. He's just kind of like,
yeah.
And he gets handed the journal, and he takes a moment, and you can tell he's kind of doing a spirit's touch on it. Mm-hmm. And he hands it back to the individual, and he says, very well, I am familiar with this Veridat Vatslas. I'm quite surprised he havened here.
As much as I hate to agree with you on that one, I'm quite surprised too. But to be fair, it was hidden for such a long time that clearly it was a good enough spot for him to hide.
Let me see the other.
Okay. She'll motion towards the Valdry cup.
Okay. So the guy goes and retrieves the cup. He looks at it kind of like, ooh, that was kind of creepy. And comes walking back over, handing him the cup. He does another, spirit's touch. And whenever Bastion's doing a spirit's touch, obviously he's having to stay put. So at that point, you can tell a couple people are focused directly on Damaris, ready to draw down in case she turns on the situation. Like, they're going to make sure this is level either way.
I am keeping my hands to my sides, not making any sudden movements. I am just there.
Right.
Just, yeah.
And then he looks at that and he says, interesting. Valdry cup from Montreal, of all places.
Mm-hmm.
I would see the final piece.
Okay. Show motion.
So at this point, they don't. They have encased it in bulletproof glass for safety, and they walk it over to him. And as an honest, he can't resist. I mean,
I'm watching his expression.
He's also a
very
Toreador,
much.
so he had two items to kind of verify that. And as it's coming up, it's almost like, sort of look like it's just
drool.
And actually, for a moment, he actually gets locked into it. From the Toreador, the Toreador's inability to look away from something that stunning, and as he does. You see even Malcolm at this point double down a second and watch Damaris to make sure she doesn't do anything, because everybody's going to open up on her if she does.
I'm not doing anything. All I say is magnificent, isn't it?
It's like Necromancer Antique Roadshow.
And at that point, when he recomposes himself, he's like, exquisite.
Do we have a deal?
It pains me to cut such a deal, let alone the fact that you had such an item of unique value.
Oh, I understood its value, just like I know you do.
Very well, you have a deal. As an emissary from the Black Hand, my aggressions here will cease, your city will be left alone, and you will be left alone.
Then we have a deal.
And then at that point, Malcolm says, Very well. It sounds like we have a deal. He says, Bastion, then you are to leave immediately. This item will be, and at that point he's getting ready to protest, and he says, this item is going to be going with my men to follow you as you leave. It will be presented to you once you get out of the city limits, and not until then. So the faster you can do that, the faster you get your item, and everybody can go home. And so he looks, and he shoots him a look like he was kind of insulted he's being spoken to like that. And Malcolm says, okay, you don't want to go there. The last thing you want is us against you as well. And he kind of bit his tongue for a second because he looked at that item, and it's like, you could tell he's like, that is just way too important. I'm not, no. Mm-hmm. I'm this is just
see the emotions across his face.
You could already tell, like in his mind's eye, when he returns home, it's ticker tape parade and like everything just for this item. Like it's his prize is right there. So he just kind of bites his lip and he says, very well then. And he ends up, slinking away and off into the shadows and away. And he turns to Damaris and he says, we've got eyes on him at this point, so you can go home.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'd like to wait a little bit till I get more confirmation he's closer out of the city.
We aren't going to hang out here long, but you're welcome to stay as long as we hang out here. Just
until they get ready. That's exactly what I'll do.
Because at that point, they shut the trunk. 2 cars take off to go with basically the delivery car and head out.
Cool. All right. Well, once they start to leave, I will leave and make my way and send Ben a text. Lived. Period.
Ben responds,
so
sweet. With
Ben,
a thumbs up.
As you pull out your phone, a piece of paper falls out.
The heck? Goes for the piece of paper and reads the quick message, looks at the paper.
The piece of paper says, just in case, don't follow, burn this. And there's coordinates on it.
It's pretty good. And then he goes, he sends nice trick. Got past me. Well done. He sends that too.
Not easy, but I try. Okay, so she'll make her way back.
Okay.
I feel like that only took all of maybe 15 minutes, if that.
It took a little bit longer because of the tense moments. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was maybe half hour, 45 minutes at best. Plus you're waiting at that point at the end.
A whole lot of worrying for a little bit of time.
Don't jinx it. I'm gonna knock on that wood right now.
So Ben will say out loud to the group, yeah, all right. So apparently the deal's done. Seems like she'll be.
Come in, you royal boob.
Well,
at that point, Revis will kind of look over at the Baroness and go, at some point in the future, we need to have a discussion about how to handle feeding issues going forward.
Like Henri's feeding issues?
Well, Henri is unique, and I don't know if it's Ashland or upbringing issues, which just like Ashland. In a Camarilla city, he probably would not survive very long. Just being honest. As an anarch and with the arrangements that were made, and they were expensive. And just so you understand, every time we do this, I teach Abradovich a discipline.
Can I hear this conversation?
Yeah, you're there.
You're there.
Well, I didn't know if you were saying it privately or not.
No. I was. This is the emissary speaking to the Baroness, letting others know that these things are very carefully being monitored, but I'm unhappy with the price the city is being made to pay, because ghouls and revenants with disciplines of the nature being taught can become very, very big problems.
So we need an alternative.
I would greatly appreciate it. I like being able to sleep at night without having to worry about someone coming in that I don't want.
Sure, understandable.
I have hunted in the past. This is, I.
I understand, Henri, but the issue is the fact that you're in America. In America, actively goes after anything they look at as serial killing.
This is true. This is why in the past when I have killed, I have gone from city to move on.
Yeah, and we took great lengths to do this. And in all honesty, it's part of what I actually am supposed to do, which is make sure that things go well. But we need to find an alternative going forward. You may not be the only case that shows up, and this is not an avenue I think the city should go down any length of time.
Henri, do you have to do this often?
Yes, and Henri just looks at you. You don't want to know. The morality of the individuals in this room are such that it will cause you problems if you have active knowledge.
I don't want the specifics, and so I appreciate your circumspection, as usual. What about the bugs on the street, or I don't know, like a most wanted
Or
list.
just putting this out there again. Don't have to resort to just kill whoever seems convenient. Henri, have you talked to Dr. Prester at all about your urges?
No, it is very very private. I've mentioned to all of you. I've mentioned to my ghouls before I dispatch of them. You are the only ones. My sire, everyone in this room, and Robert are the only ones that are aware of my needs. There are
this is
in the Camarilla that suspect. I am sure. I've gone from city to city in America. I have been here for quite a few decades. It's not like I came here just a few months ago. I traveled from East Coast to West Coast, killing as I go, but moving from city to city. So,
if I can ask, how's that? What
The more you know.
What is the? You don't have to go into the specifics of what it, but like what are the Brodoviches doing in this arrangement? Like you could just use like a
Okay, I'm going to loosely describe it as an extraordinary amount of cleanup. And I will define that by the fact that I made Henri burn every piece of clothing he wore and gave him clean clothes.
Okay.
Before we ever left the location.
Right.
So you have to do this every time you go to feed?
No.
It's
a time period engaged in several months.
Oh, it's in the killing.
Yes.
What about just going to a different city and doing it, or catching somebody in between cities?
I am
in the
okay
middle
with
of nowhere.
This is fine with me.
Hitchhikers. Wait, I'm not there. Never mind.
Jerome, I want to look up on my phone. Does Ashland have crime scene cleanup? Any crime scene cleanup companies?
Good question. Ashland had.
Ashland had?
Yeah.
Is that the name of it?
No, they had one in
they
season
had
1.
It was.
They did?
It was run by one of the PCs that is no longer with us.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I mean, that could be an industry to get into.
It certainly could be.
Is that could because like now I'm thinking like, all right, well,
and then
actually,
there's the wolf.
It would probably be a good idea to, because like I got the blood bank going because I wanted to make sure that we got blood when we needed it. Now I'm thinking, okay, now that that's taking off, maybe I should buy a crime scene cleanup company and I'm already thinking in my head of like, okay, it'll still operate. I'll be funneling cash into it as well as like just to like make it more affordable for like because people die of natural causes all the time. They would need this sort of thing all the time. But like if we had people installed in that company that we could, you know, it just so we
Tap.
don't have to, yeah, just that we don't have to do it and we don't have to get the Brodoviches involved. Like if the crime scene cleanup is the issue, if that's the hard part, then we could just pay them in money. We don't have to pay them
The
in.
issue it's not that it's a hard part. It's that anyone with a gram of ethics or morality is going to be appalled. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to be hard pushed for any mortal, except those who are sociopaths, to constantly do that on anything like a repetitive level. That's just being blunt, having seen it.
All right, so the things that the Brodoviches offer is specifically the uncaring about a person dying.
The Bradoviches are an appropriate tool for this circumstance at this point in time. Notice the wording.
With the Brodoviches, since they desire to eat the flesh, where are they getting their bodies from?
Revis just kind of looks at him and goes, Henri, do you really think that it's an appropriate time to open that discussion? Especially with your friends whose morality is not yours.
All right.
So, his morality is his.
I can talk to Danny then. I mean, I really don't.
Yes, I think that's an appropriate way to go about it. But I mention this because it's costly, and at a certain point, it will become counterproductive.
But if I can,
let me finish, Henry, for a second. The way to probably get around that and to mitigate it would be something we've talked about, but we haven't really embraced, which is making Danny and possibly his wife part of our council. In which case, it could almost loosely be termed as the cost of joining in. We all contribute. We all mostly do it at no cost or minimum cost, as the case may be. An example being what I did for Henri, and we'll do, for the next months until we make some other arrangement for him. It's an appropriate thing, and it makes them feel included.
And it feeds them.
It's a bonus. But from my point of view, it's simple. It's not complex. It deals with the issue. Henri you had no idea. For all of what it was, he was happy. He was the happiest I had ever seen him.
It was.
That's not helpful. I'm not glad about that.
I'm sorry. It was very nice.
Anybody with a humanity, 4 or higher is basically doing what Ben just did. It's just like, yes.
I'm looking to see how much this crime scene cleanup company costs.
So I will leave it there for you to talk about. But like I said, it was handled in this way exactly because of what your reactions are.
And Damaris, I take it you're heading back to the.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're
back.
back.
I would have headed back by then. Yeah.
So,
Jerome, I would have had my new face on when I came back to everybody. The new face that I met with Steph and Revis. But when he started talking about me being happy and everything, I probably would have dropped, and I would have gone to my natural visage just to be like,
oh, okay.
Happy.
if that's the case, and it's good that he did that. So he's very happy. He looks uglier than you last saw him, and I don't mean that in a good way. Like Nosferatu normally look ugly. He now has much more pale skin. His eyes are more sunk in. Like he looks far more undead than most people would think.
Would I be able to guess what happened since I've lost my humanity?
Oh yeah. He is losing humanity gleefully.
Yeah, I look at you knowingly, like I know.
You
I
look.
know.
You don't. You look more ghoulish than the last time I think I saw your face.
Yeah.
I do not know why, but I can say it was a pleasant experience. It was very nice. I will not go into details because I can see our Baroness over here screaming over here right now.
Yeah, Sophie, anytime she addresses him, she's like looking over his
To
shoulder.
the side.
So, anyhow, I brought it up. Everyone's aware, so no one can say it was hidden. Everyone knows why it was approached in this way. Let me know if you have thoughts other than what Remus has brought up. And like I said to Remus, be very careful on who you hire if you do go this route. They will have to basically be sociopaths.
Well, I if I think that bringing the Brodoviches in as like if this is part of their role within like our group, I think that if that is enough to make them happy, then yeah. But I think also, I mean, we kind of leave messes all over the place. I think it would be great to at least have a hookup on the people cleaning it up. So I think even if we don't go that route, I think it might be good to start investing in a cleaning company.
What
Good
if
point.
you were to hire some of the Brodoviches for?
Oh. Well, they won the lottery though. They don't need money. But they could do it, but you don't think that they'd be a little suspicious if, stuff came up missing?
Wait, what do you mean? Like hire them into the
To be
To run the company.
cleanup?
to
Oh,
actually give them a title, the cleanup group,
oh,
and they
Seems a
benefit.
little insulting, doesn't it?
They
Okay, we
benefit.
want you, but you're only going to be the cleanup crew.
Well, they benefit
You're
because
basically the janitor.
they can take whatever home to feed
Yeah,
the family.
Babe.
Remus is going to go,
What?
oh my.
I don't use the words carte blanche, but I could see some value in that.
wait, are you saying to get them to work in the crime scene cleanup company, or is this a different topic?
Yeah, why not?
No, that's what they're saying.
I
Kill two birds with one stone, so to speak.
no.
Just to let you know, Garrett has suggested find a bear, shave a bear, put a wig on it, let the bear loose in the woods, tell Henri it's just a really lumpy homeless person. But like a really evil homeless person.
And then when Henri goes to have a conversation with him, it's just going, ah, rah. I'm like,
Learn speak with animals. Then it won't be just rah, rah.
Do you have to speak with animals?
Yeah.
This is not bear, for God's sake.
I'll teach you to speak with animals.
This is a bar.
Anyhow.
And Remus,
right.
your phone starts going off.
Oh God! All right, check my phone.
Okay. You see it's Danny.
Okay. Oh,
His ears were burning.
yeah, his ears. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Is he calling me or just a text?
No, he's calling you.
Okay. Speak of the Brodovich. Hold on a second, and I'll step away.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, hey there, Remus. How y'all doing?
Hey, Denny. I'm doing fine. How about you?
Fair to middling. Thanks for asking. Hey, I happen to get a new hound in, a new dog. I figured you might want to see it. Give you first dibs because you said you were kind of interested. I'm still working on one for Revis, but this is like pre-modification.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing it. I'd also, if you don't mind, I don't know if this is against the rules, but if I could see the one that you're working on.
Oh no, sure. You come on
yeah,
down. Got no problem with that. It's not like it's a trade secret or nothing.
Okay, I've never seen one, so I kind of want to know. Like, it'd be good to kind of get an idea. How big of a doghouse to buy.
Oh, you mean the one that I'm going to recommend for you? Well, shoot, when we get done with him, he's going to suck a chrome off trailer hitch.
Okay, well, I would like to see what the end product looks like as well, just so I have an idea kind of what it's going to be.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, keep in mind we can make some differences too. Like if you want that that movie Predator look with the extra mandibles. One we can throw that in there if you'd like.
Okay, Remus is like trying to imagine it. He's like, okay, yeah. When would you be available for me to come take a look?
Oh, well, we're good right now if you want. I
Okay.
just got done doing something for Henri, so we got a barbecue going and everything.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm taking care of some things, but I'll text you when I'm on my way.
All right, sure, no problem.
Okay.
We'll leave the light on for you.
Thanks, Tom Bodette.
Hey, see, I knew you'd get it. You one of them smart types. All right, I'll talk at you later.
All right, goodbye. No, hang up.
All right.
Yeah.
And everyone's just looking at Remus as he finished up his phone conversation.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around.
So
What?
while he's out, Sophie's going to turn to Damaris and say, "So what happened?"
I mean, it went incredibly smooth, surprisingly. When I got there, Malcolm, was at the door. His team was all around. Like, I don't even know how many there were. I didn't count, but they were all armed, heavily. Bastion showed up after I did, and Malcolm told him the terms, basically leave Ashland alone. You'll drop any vendettas you have or any sort of issues, and leave me alone in Ashland and basically get out indefinitely. He looked at the journal first, touched it, spirits touched it to verify, and then the same with the Valdry cup. And then, when that tapestry was brought out, the flesh confession was brought out in that case, I don't think I've ever seen anybody more entranced. He was, if I could put a word to it, he was foaming at the mouth for it. He was just clearly tempted beyond reason, honestly.
So that was a good gamble.
He knew he knew exactly what it was, how important it was, and was honestly really surprised. It seemed that it was even in Ashland to begin with. I told him it was good enough hiding place if it was here for the last few decades and nobody knew about it. So clearly it wasn't a bad place. After thinking about it for a minute, like not even, he agreed to it, and basically he left, and the item was basically to be given to him once he crossed the Ashland border.
Did you give him all three, or just the scroll?
Just the scroll.
And you're okay letting that go?
Fine. Yeah.
And he
seemed extremely satisfied. Trust me when I say that this is going to be a big deal for him when he gets back.
Well, good for him. That's great.
You know what? Good for us at this point, because now we don't have to worry about him. But just
hope.
Right. Well, he's going to leave me alone, but there was nothing in the agreement that he wouldn't go after any of you guys outside of Ashland.
Wait.
I don't think he will, but no, he does, despite all his stalking, he does strike me as someone who will uphold that end of the bargain.
So, do we know if any other Black Hand are going to come after us in his stead?
No, he mentioned, or he said that as part of the Black Hand, that would stop. So him, Black Hand, out of Ashland, off my back, off Ashland's back, leave it alone. It's all dropped from here on out. Now the sect, of course, the Sabbat are still, they had nothing in this case to agree to. So I'm very much on their blacklist. So that's probably not going to stop if I enter a Sabbat city at some point or travel outside of Ashland and there is a Sabbat person out there. So I'm still at risk, but as far as Ashland is concerned, we're good.
Get to
And at
sleep.
least it's not Black Hand after you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
always
relief.
an improvement to have them removed from the playing field.
Mm.
Congratulations on something well done.
I wish I
I was
could.
concerned it was going to turn violent because there was some, we were throwing on the table at some point, taking him out, and that I don't think would have been the diplomatic solution.
No, but it would have been fun.
It would have been fun, and I have to agree, but I could not do that.
Well, but it's like smashing a roach. You're not getting rid of all of them. You're just killing one. At least, hopefully, this time we'll get a winter.
I'm not confident in even hoping that it's going to be quiet around here for any length
Probably
of time.
not.
I mean, they've already proven that the Sabbat can't be trusted. No offense to people. Yeah, but
I mean, that's true. Oh, and she takes out the gun and hands it back to Ben. Didn't end up
Thank
needing
you.
it.
So, is there anything else that needs to be attended this evening?
Well, I haven't had a chance yet to scry on Welliver, and I also was curious about to see if I could find hedge money in Tucson and that Aaliyah individual.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. You guys
Try.
I don't think I told. I mean, Ben and Sophie know, but I found out recently that Welliver is associated with a person named Aaliyah out in Tucson, who runs a neutral location called the Hedge Money.
Hegemony.
Hegemony? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. The Hegemony. Excuse me.
Who's Walliver?
Welliver.
Hugo Welliver.
Hugo Welliver. He was the vendor that we went to go see in the Midnight Augury before it was, learning things for the Kamel issue, and then again for trying to find silver mirrors big enough for us to use.
Interesting term, hegemony. Interesting.
What do you mean?
Hegemony.
Hegemony, whatever you want to pronounce it. If you look it up, it means dominance over an individual or groups.
Presumptuous. Well, and maybe for a mummy, less presumptuous.
Well, I don't know if what she is. He just said. Well, my source basically just said that she's got the magic to ensure that it remains a neutral location. So I didn't get the impression that she was vampire, but they're connected, so it makes me curious.
Pretty sure his
Talia,
place.
if you remember, Carlos told you a little bit about that.
That's true. It was sounding familiar, but I wasn't quite sure where I heard that. So,
Could she also be a mummy? Or
Maybe
do
just-
they have
don't know.
servants like we do?
Revis just kind of looks at her and goes, I don't even want to think about the odds of 3 of those creatures being on the same side of the continent.
You know,
How much do you know about those things, Revis? Like, you seem to know a little bit more about that than the rest of us.
Revis just kind of looks at Ben and goes, I believe I said this before, but my sect, how do I put this? There are 2 sides, well, more than 2 sides normally, but my sect is one side, and there's opposition. And that opposition is not really vampires per se. You're kind of secondary to what we really battle against, in all honesty. And many of our battles and many of our most famous fighters and priests battle them wherever we find them.
Right.
I should only be graced with the opportunity to fight, even if I lost. I would be honored among my sect for the simple act of opposing them.
Then do you have any way through, your superiors and the Sedites to find out more about these guys? Whether, what their plans are, how to deal with them, anything like that?
Reeves just kind of looks at Ben and looks at Sophie and goes, "You have so many other problems. This would be opening up something you really need to think about if you were to pursue it. I understand that there's a grudge, which is acceptable in the scheme of things, but delving deeply into these creatures' affairs is not something you get to step back from once they know you're present. They're not like the Sabbat or the Black Hand. They've been around far longer than probably that sect, almost all of them.
I asked Colin if he knew anything about that. He's got a lot more occult experience than I do. He said that his studies have yielded a little bit of information, just that they are beings that have magic that do, in fact, allow them to rise from the dead. So,
Great.
obviously, that's our pay grade.
I don't think I've never seen a mummy. Is this like can you describe them? Do they look like normal people?
They look like normal people.
Okay.
I mean, I would have never have guessed. I thought he was some kind of mage.
Did anyone read his aura?
No one present read his aura to my recollection.
No.
I think two points. I think for one, I understand that it's very personal for Trudy, and it sounds like it's personal for Revis too, or occupational. Or
as I said, everyone has that which brings them honor, or most of us do, I should say. For me and mine, doing battle with them, even if I fell, would bring honor to my name and my sire.
I think
is that type of issue. It goes beyond it's not a matter of how would I phrase this? The best way to think of it for a vampire in my sect is what we live to die for.
So it means something strongly to some of us, but until such time as it affects Ashland specifically, I think we can keep this one at arm's length. Maybe just watchful waiting. And my second point is, I think we need to be very, very careful in places like the Midnight Augury, not to bring back any unfriendly associations that we don't know how to deal with. So outside of what we know, who we know, just exercise extreme caution. Maybe try not to make friends too freely. I don't know.
Revis would kind of look over at you and go like, so you're the one that's going to tell Trish, right?
Yeah, I still need to catch her about that conversation.
Good, because I don't want to be the one that has it.
Oh, quick question.
He's afraid that she won't crawl into his lap and kiss him again.
So, quick question, out of character. Did anybody have anything else that they were going to do for tonight, like specifically, like rituals or whatever?
I mean, mine was just scrying, but I can do that next game to start it off or something.
Okay.
I guess.
All right.
Two things I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to try to, but I was waiting for a point in conversation to slip it in.
Sure.
All right. So, Dahlia, I have been working with the side project with my rats, and I have not been very successful. I'm not sure if your fungus is good food for them. I am not an expert in animal husbandry, but I have seen two rats within a short period of time, within months, produce hundreds of little ones. I've gone from 6 to 10 in 2 months. They're not healthy. They're bigger than other rats maybe, but it's not a progeny that is growing exponentially per se. I don't know if this is something that you can help with, but this is not my forte. Or if you know someone science-wise that can help me with this.
Possibly, but you have good housing for them, like plenty of materials for them to procreate.
They live within the sewers, and so they are rats.
I'll come over and help you.
I mean, there's plenty of fecal matter, and then we have the.
Wait, Dahlia, are you helping Henry infect rats?
No. No. They're regular mushrooms, just growing food, essentially.
There's just no sunlight, so the fungus doesn't need sunlight to live, and so I would need food for the rats to grow, and they're not. They're procreating.
The shrooms are poisoning the rats and preventing them from growing.
No, they're not poisonous.
It's a food source for them.
Didn't you literally just say that they were fungus? Like,
it's more of a generational thing. You know what happens when mom and son procreate and make offsprings.
You mean, okay. Yeah, I understand what you mean. I mean,
you need a bigger genetic pool and a better place to house the young. Because if they're hungry, they will eat their young.
They have done this. Yes, they have.
Did you just watch them do it? Like you didn't throw in like a cracker or anything? Like,
well, no. I mean, there was.
Just because it's a sewer doesn't mean there's food down there.
Steph is just going to kind of reach over and pat poor Ben's hand.
So gross.
I'm very confused. Why do you want pets? Like, can't you just do you need?
Yeah, I don't understand what you're doing with the
what do you
rats.
need the rats for? Like,
they're his horde.
I would like to have the rats. Others have a feeding from the humans constantly. I mean, and rats are smart. They are. I mean, you can train them in time, and there's things.
Do you feed from the rats?
I like to. Yes.
It's his herd.
Oh.
That could also contribute lack of energy that they don't have to procreate.
Henri, is that why you look like death warmed over? Is because you're eating poop rats? Like,
oh my!
Pretty sure that was the hunt earlier.
I mean, Remus doesn't know that.
Yeah.
I can come and help you create better facilities for your rats.
Okay.
I feel like Henri needs the Australian tourists from My Life in Ruins to come to him. It's like, hey, what's your name? Poopy. I'm sorry, man. I ain't gonna call you
Poopy.
I can't call you Poopy. You got another name? Cactus.
Poopy cactus.
Poopy cactus.
All right, and then Skeeter and the other one, but they have been working very well within the leatherworking, but they are not producing well. We had talked about manufacturing more leather goods, and we can make more, but I would like to have more people within the working for me and they don't need to be ghouls, or they could work during the day. But having Skeeter in charge of a group, she's bright and she's very spunky, but she is a little one, So I need someone with more.
I think legally she can't be working. So
Does it count as work if he's not paying her?
Free
well, to
child
have
labor,
her
I
in
think, is
charge
worse
of
than
other
paid
people,
child labor.
Yeah.
Remus just kind of looks over at Henri and goes, Henri,
Yes.
I think I will let our more moralistic citizens bring you up to date on what you need to be doing, especially since it's a young girl, and they probably wouldn't appreciate my input and how you should deal with this issue. So I think Dahlia or Steph, or maybe even the other ladies might be more helpful in this regard, because truthfully, as a male vampire, I got to turn away and say you're on your own, especially when you want to expand. And I know what your people handling skills are. Ladies, pay attention. He has no people handling skills. So if he wants to expand, he needs
he
help.
needs Robert to take over.
Yeah,
And
where is Robert?
I do not know. This is a problem. I have been leaving messages for Robert, and I think
your ghoul is ghosting you?
Did you two break up?
Can you summon him?
Out of character. Can I summon him? I don't know if that's
That's a
something.
great question. Do you have Presence 5?
No.
It's like
Presence 4.
Or Presence
Oh,
4?
dang.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Oh, Presence 4?
No, it's 4.
Mhm.
I have Presence 4.
Would you like one of us to summon him?
Yes, because he is not returning my my texts or phone calls. Yes.
Is this the one who gambles?
Yes. He is
Okay.
He made quite a bit of money. He found out about the
Probably just left because he
How
made a
long-
lot of money.
How long has it been since you've seen him?
Jerome. How long has it been?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I would be
incident.
I would
I
be putting
would
down
ask
the
the
law with
Giovanni
your
if they know
ghoul.
where he is.
Well, but he needs your blood, so he.
Yeah. How long has it been since he's
2 weeks. I fed him 2 weeks ago.
It's very suspicious.
We should do, because like the last time one of your help went missing, we found them in a exploding house,
Yeah.
and he shoryukened me.
Flames, can you do your thing? See where he's at?
I can try. Yeah, I mean, I'm always willing, of course. I meant to do some additional scrying anyway, so I'll start with your ghoul then.
I love that this business began with you talking about your rats, and like you're like, oh, by the way, my ghoul
My
has
ghoul's
been
gone.
missing for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Remus is going to look around and go,
Maybe that's
once
why your
again,
business is
Henri
failing.
has no people skills.
Henri, you really need to set some ground rules.
So Damaris is breaking out her portable bowl with bottled water and stir.
Yep. All right,
I think you would be better off with Sophie when it comes to people skills. I've been told I don't have very many. And she's going to look at Ben.
I have given.
I'm pulling up my sheet here.
I have lengthened Robert's leash so that he may gamble and produce more money. So I have allowed him, but I think
you've given him too much.
And I have been working on my people skills, as Rivas has said. In the past, my instinct
5 total.
Destroy him and start over. But Robert has been very good at making money, so I've allowed him.
I commend you for keeping him around, but remember, you're the boss.
Oh no,
and you are responsible for him.
Well, and I Henri, like you're part of this council to the Baron. Like he is essentially like a loose asset that we don't have info on. He knows a lot about us. Like having a loose leash on him is fine, but like I think in the future, if it goes even like a few days without, you should probably let us know so we can help you rein him back in.
Or solve the issue in whatever manner is desirable at that point.
Robert, it's Robert. He's fully bound to you, correct?
Yes. Oh, yes. We've been here. I have had him quite some time.
So Damaris, you find him sitting around a gambling table.
You said he was a gambler, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's at a casino.
Is he winning?
Is he winning?
He has a small pile of chips next to him. Yes.
He's not doing too bad. But can I zoom out? Can I tell what casino it is?
Yeah, it's the Speakeasy here in town.
He's at the Speakeasy.
Well, here, let me try this. I call him.
I'm gonna watch
Okay.
as he calls.
That's what I'm doing. I'm like,
Okay.
Tell me what he does.
Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see.
Okay, so he looks over, at the phone, real quick, and then he ends up tapping to take a hit, for one of his, for his hand, and then when he ends up busting out, he motions his hand for a second that, he's gonna sit that hand out, and he picks up the phone. He says, "Yeah, hey, boss."
Robert, it has been 2 weeks since you have replied back to me, no text, and have not answered the phone. What is going on?
So he looks at his phone and he's like, "Whoa!" And Damaris, you can see him. He's like looking up and looking around at like the clocks, on the thing, and he's like, and he's like, "Hang on a second." Then you see him turn to like somebody sitting next to him, and like he's saying something to him, and he goes like, he like nods his head and affirming something. He goes like, "Wow, has it really been 2 weeks?"
Yeah, Henri, it is Friday. I have not seen you in 2 weeks now. It's 2 Fridays ago when we spoke last.
Wow, no wonder I smell so good.
What?
Yeah, because he hasn't been in the sewer for 2 weeks.
Or around all the leather working.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which has its own unpleasant odor.
Yes.
Yep.
He says,
Leather
"Yeah."
working uses a variety of chemicals. None of them smell good.
Yep.
Or near the poop rats, which also smell bad.
I think we have a name for Henri's brood now.
I was like,
The Poop Patrol.
if this episode was named post after, it would be poop rats.
See the stunning conclusion of the deal with the Sabbat in this episode. Poop rats.
Poopy.
Exploring footballs, and now we have poop rats.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he says, yeah, sorry, I've been on a roll.
all right,
Does he look like he's been on a roll based on the chips
We're
that
looking at him. Oh yeah. He looks like he's been at this probably all day. Like his collar is open, his hair is a little mussed.
I mean, he looks like he could use a shower. But he looks like he's doing well. Do you want me to keep watching him?
I'm like, un moment. Robert,
Yeah.
I need to see you in person. We need to talk. We need to talk about limits and parameters.
Yeah. Can you give me like 5 to 10 to cash out then?
Yes. Then you can, and then
It said minutes.
Define
right?
5
Not
to 10
hours.
days or 5 to 10 hours.
I cover up the phone. I'm like, I'm going to speak to him.
Like I heard him say that. Like
I'm going to speak to him the way where I don't want to bring him here. I could bring him here in the presence of all of you and we talk, or I could just go back to my haven and speak to him. Which
It's up to you.
it's
It's
your business,
Um,
so you handle your
Just
business.
saying,
It
clarify.
would be to your benefit to try and do this without everyone backing you up so that he feels it's one-on-one. If you bring him before all of us and have to dress him down, he is going to be very, very embarrassed.
Yeah, very resentful.
All
Yeah,
right.
and that could be bad for you because even though he is your goal, he can still turn on you.
No, I would just destroy him at that point. But I
Henri strikes again.
you gave me a ride here. I would need a ride back to my haven. When can I make this so I can plan this with him to be at my haven? When are we wrapping up?
We're about done, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll get the ride from someone, and then I will tell him to meet me at my haven in 15.
Revis will be happy to drop you off.
All right.
I think it's going to take him longer than 15 minutes because he's got to cash out and then go.
Travel.
So
And then travel, yeah.
You're
Yeah.
probably looking at about an hour.
maybe an hour, yeah.
Because if he's got a large amount of winnings, they won't be happy about letting him go without trying
Right.
to get it back.
They may try to convince him to stay. So you may want to follow up with him. He seemed like he was really not wanting to go.
Okay, I can do this. All right. Robert, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Let's meet in an hour. I will follow up to make sure that you are doing what you need to do. Meet me at the haven, please.
All right. Yeah, I can do that. I'll be there soon.
All right. I will come back and to see what your timing is. But at 1 hour within my haven.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
1 hour.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, too sweet. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
that should be enough time to clear downtown traffic.
Downtown traffic. It's the evening.
Yeah, I know.
Do you though?
Yeah, downtown's busy at night here.
Yeah, they're building
in
a
downtown. the
Oh,
casino.
that's right. You don't get out, boss. Yeah, they're building a big old stadium. They got some of the lanes closed.
That's right.
All right, but 2 hours then, Robert.
Oh, geez, no, that's I'll be there in an hour. I'm just letting you know. They get may not be right at an hour. Maybe maybe an hour 10, maybe 50 minutes. I don't know what kind of traffic I'm going to be facing. It's cool. I got it.
I will call you in 30 minutes to follow up.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, goodbye. I hang up. I'm like, all right. He said something about traffic. It's nighttime though, so.
Was he there this whole time?
He did not know what day it was. I think.
Did he eat or sleep?
We did not discuss that. I mean,
Revis just kind of looks at the Baroness and goes, "You have no idea what goes on at the casinos?"
Time flies, I guess.
But 2 weeks? I mean, humans need to eat.
Well, Revis just kind of looks at you and goes, "Do you have any idea what a comp is, as an example? You know what it means when they say they're comping someone?
Like complimentary, but like what? What do you mean?
For gamblers, if they spend enough money, they comp them their room, their food, the stray female entertainment that may be the distraction they need to get their money back."
Oh.
So he stays at the hotel room at the casino is attached to the hotel. He stays there. So, and I don't know. I know I have gone to the casino with him, and there are no windows. It is dark. It is very nice because you can be inside the casino. Like you don't know. You actually get tired because the sun has risen. But it's because the lights and the darkness. You don't know. Your body tells you what time it is, but you don't know what time of day it is unless you're looking at the watch. So.
Well, I'm glad that was an easy fix.
Yeah, I'm glad at least he's alive and
just enjoying himself a little too much, I see.
Speaking of ghouls, Seth,
Yes?
I talked to Doug about his conclave. You're off the hook. I'm actually going to be performing there instead, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I am not ready to step into those shoes just quite yet.
Come on, DJ Hip Hopopotamus.
So, honey, what do you want to do tonight?
Same thing we do every night, babe.
Knew that was going there.
Sorry.
Knew that was going there.
What, right? What do you have?
Do
What are my little pants
I don't know. What do
size?
you want to do?
Do you
I don't know. What do you want to do?
do you want to go dancing? Go get takeout? What?
Takeout.
Delivery.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
think it's a night to celebrate. Maybe we should all go dancing.
We could go to the Flugo.
I'll pass. I already have plans. I'm gonna see the Brodoviches for a bit.
Oh, yeah, that should be fun.
You're gonna go see the Broadifishes for a bit?
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you
would.
know, like I said, oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was going to say I would like to go with you to see the Brodoviches, but I need to see Robert.
Yep.
I'll enjoy the barbecue.
I mean, I'm not going to eat anything.
Rivas just kind of looks at you. Eat anything?
Well, I couldn't eat anything.
Oh, okay. It doesn't really say anything.
Well, I know, like, I know what they eat. I wouldn't eat there anyway, but also I don't eat.
Right. Yep. That makes sense. Good. Yeah, let's go, babe. If we're all done. All right, this has been great. I'm glad everyone's alive. Flames, good job not dying. Henri, please see the doc. I know everyone else is saying do different things, but Dr. Prester, that's my 2 cents as far as that goes.
But he heals the body. Why would I go see the doctor?
He's a therapist.
I'm
He
actually.
can talk to him about stuff in your mind.
Oh no, that's okay. I don't need to go talk to the doctor about them.
I've actually decided to see him for performance anxiety. So if he can help me, he can help you.
So we have a therapist.
You didn't know that?
Wow. No, I knew that. I knew him. I met him before and all that. It's just that sounds weird.
He's worked with my mother, and he's done.
Wow. I don't know.
There are other
I
ways
don't
to
think he
solving
needs to
the
be
mind
knowing everybody's
problems.
business. I don't think everybody needs to go to him.
No. I am fine with who I am. I do not go to open my mind to some doctor.
Great.
If we're all set, I'll be happy to take you home to your haven, and if we're all good, then I'll be happy to make sure everyone gets out and close up. And
Thank you for the use of your club, Rivas. Appreciate your hospitality.
Okay, so that is where we're going to wrap, with the exception of an end game scene that is going to be coming. So everybody at this point you've gone off and done your respective things to round the night off. It's about 2 a.m. at this point, Dahlia, and you and Carlos are just getting out of the car at this point, and climbing onto a plane. And he's like, so we've got what little we need packed. I swear you're gonna like this, and in fact, I know you're gonna dig the laboratory. I've been thinking about it, and I know I've got we can get a clean room set up for you, so you can experiment on this, and maybe we can track down where this, where the leak came from.
Sounds great. I can't wait to see the lab.
Yeah, he says it's going to be perfect. As they're shutting the door, and it's a private plane, and the plane at this point is taxiing off onto the runway, and he says, I think at least briefly, I think the change of scenery is going to be perfect.
It's just really sudden.
I mean, I know, and I do apologize. I've made some arrangements, but look at it this way. As the plane is taking off, he's like, "You'll get to see your great uncle."
Oh, Killian. Yay.
And at that point, the plane takes off, and he takes a moment to look at this basically, flesh encased in bulletproof glass. And he says, "Isn't it pretty?"
No.
No,
Mm-mm.
you'll come to enjoy it.
No.
And
It's not alive.
and so the plane at that point takes off into the night sky, onward to Arizona.
Bum, bum, bum.
I think I'm confused. I didn't understand who he was referring to.
Oh my.
Is he a Ventrue or something?
Killian.
Killian? No.
No, Carlos.
Carlos? No.
Wait,
He's supposed
was
to be
that
Gruma.
was that the skin thing that we traded off?
Yes.
How does Carlos have it now?
Bum, bum, bum.
I've never met Carlos. I'm like,
I know.
like trying to piece this stuff together. So
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Carlos is Sebastian.
Surprise. Surprise.
Oh, was I right?
Yeah, Carlos was Bastion.
God.
Dahlia, you're living with the enemy.
I didn't know.
You didn't know.
I did not know.
You were kissing him. You went to a party with him. No.
Are you bloodbound to him?
No comment.
Oh my God, she's bloodbound to him.
Did you sign a lease with him?
No.
Yep, right now that
Tell me you signed a prenup. No.
we need the
Who's gonna help Henri with
sound
his
effect.
rats now?
Yeah, the
Awesome.
the poop rats will live on. Well,
I'm sure I can send him plans and layout and have his, because that's what I did with the other thing. Is I had his ghoul build it for him.
So there you go.
Wow.
Surprise.
Had no
Yee.
idea.
Sleeping with the enemy.
Totally in character.
Yeah.
Totally in character. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Too much history there, Jerome. Way too much history.
So obviously next week we are not going to have Ashland by Night Blood Ties. We're going to be at a convention for that one. That's a Game On, the Game On Game Expo, where we're going to be doing some panels. Hopefully I'll be able to record that so we can post that online. You guys can watch it after the fact. And that'll be on next Friday, Saturday through Sunday. However, tomorrow is our Marvel Superheroes game, Modern Age Heroes. So if you're interested, please tune in and check that out. That's going to start at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which that is our big cross-dimensional caper go home episode. So hopefully the heroes have done enough work to get their ass to Maz, to get them back to their home dimension, safe and sound, and not from the quite literal belly of the beast. And then the following week, we will have on Wednesday will be Cyberpunk, which that'll be at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then on Thursday we should be having Street Fighter still, and that's also at 7 p.m. And that is at on the 10th. So thank you guys all for tuning in. It was a lot of fun having you guys hang out with us and watch, and I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with tonight, and we will catch you again next time. Take it easy, guys. Good night.
Good evening.
Take it easy, Garrett.
Bye.
Oh, Garrett stayed for the whole thing.